So this is the 5th year of our MENA Financial Crime Survey. As we start to look back, we're starting to see some consistent themes like the expectation around increasing investment in compliance and also the shift towards more support from senior management. But I'd like to look at some of the new and emerging trends that we're starting to see. One of those is the need for a clear and focused data strategy. Also, to go with a clear and focused data strategy, there's a real need for adoption of increasingly sophisticated technology. So how are you going to deal with all that emerging data that's starting to come, and how are you actually going to build that into your own strategy at the same time? So in a relatively short period of time, the complexity of the regulatory environment has actually increased immensely. And when we couple this together with the huge growth in data and the new regulations around how we're using data and how we're managing data, we start to see one of the key themes and challenges within the industry. So I think that's the context that we really need to start looking at this report. As we start to highlight the shift towards advanced technologies and that overwhelming stream of data we've discussed, we also need to think about how we structure that data to make sure that it's easily understood and it can be easily used, so that when it comes to critical decision making, that we're able to meet those increasing regulatory demands. It's been interesting actually looking back over the last 5 years that we've seen the compliance function move from a back office type function all the way up through the business to being more of a business critical function. And when you add that sort of increased value to the need to manage these more complex environments, it's no real surprise that we're starting to see a real drive towards the demand for highly skilled financial crime professionals, and actually a drop-off and less of a demand towards the need for low-level admin type functions and low-skilled roles within compliance. So firstly, and perhaps most importantly, is the need to build strong regulatory relationships. But confidence in those relationships is actually based on transparency, and if you're going to be transparent, then you need to be confident in your data, your systems, and your controls. So secondly, we're going to need to look at having the right skills. The skills of the compliance professional of the future are going to be very different to those that we've needed for years gone by. Criminals and bad actors are starting to come up with new and sophisticated ways of carrying out their illicit activity. And for us, that means that we need to change those skills that we have to be able to deal with that risk. The challenge for those financial crime professionals who are looking to fight back is they're going to need to adapt quickly. They're going to need to understand new risk typologies, and they're going to have the right tools and the right data to be able to deal with these risks. So risk professionals must ensure their teams have the skills needed to fight the financial criminal of today and tomorrow, not of days gone by.